Hello, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're looking at corporate strategies 3.1.2. It's quite a big topic and this video is going to be long, but it's going to be full of a lot of information that's very helpful in your exams. All I ask for is subscribe and like and share with your friends and prepare to make a lot of notes. So a strategy is a long-term plan of action to help a business achieve their objectives, whereas a tactic are techniques used to help a business achieve their strategy. For example, a strategy may be I'm going to advertise more, then a tactic could be we post 10 times on Instagram today, stuff like that. Cool. So strategies and tactics impact decisions on different resources of the firm. You have the human resources. A business will need to decide whether they need more staff or to train their staff to do the new tasks required. Also physical resources. So a business may need to invest in new machinery, and financial resources. The business needs to consider if it has enough funds to carry out certain decisions. If not, how it raise the funds. Now, moving on, a guy called Ansoff suggested 4 ways to grow. You have market penetration, which means trying to increase your market share in your current market. You can do this through sales promotions, pricing strategies, advertising. Also, he has new product development, so this is selling new products in your existing market. It's best if a firm has a high market share and competitive advantage. With this, strong research and development is needed, and the market should have a lot of growth potential. Then you have market development, so selling existing products to new markets. The firm may change features of the product to meet new segments of the market's needs. And lastly, you've got diversification, so selling new products to new markets. It's risky as the firm may not have any experience in this new market, although if it's successful, then the firm will reduce its risk by having multiple sources of revenue from different products. On the bottom right, I put Ansoff matrix, which we're going to go into a little bit next. It's basically showing you how those 4 growth strategies work. If you see on the bottom axis, it has the products, existing and new products, and on the axis to your left, which is the y-axis, it has existing market and new markets. If you can't read it, and as you can see, let's look at market penetration. Excelling existing products in existing market. Then if you look at diversification, selling new products in a new market. Hopefully that makes sense and you understand what I'm looking at on the graph. I'm literally looking at where it says Ansoff matrix. I'm looking at the graph. So we'll do product development now. That's the same as new product development, same thing. So remember, that's when you sell new products in your existing market. So if you look at the axis, it's in the section that says new products, existing market. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, let me know in the comments. As I always say, I'll just give you the information you need and get to the point. And because this video is long, I'm trying to not waste your time. But anyways, let's move on to the next slide now. So Ansoff matrix is a tool used to compare the level of risk involved with the different growth strategies he implied. Now it helps managers decide what strategy for growth should be chosen. It helps the managers think about the expected risks with each growth strategy. Therefore, the managers can plan in advance for how they will overcome these obstacles. However, it doesn't take into account what competitors are doing or how they will respond to a firm's chosen strategy. In addition, it fails to show that market development and diversification cause significant changes in a business daily workings, which could lead to disruption. Now, as I said, that's what that Ansoff matrix is. You probably will not get asked to draw it, but it's good to have an understanding because you know what different strategies are used for. Like market penetration, is existing products, existing market. Diversification is the opposite, new products, new market. So you have to understand what the strategies are, so you know how to define them in your exam. Now we're going to move on to another guy now, Porter. He suggested 3 strategies to gain an advantage. That's different from growth. Ansoff is for growth, Porter is for competitive advantage. He's where you have focus strategy, which concentrates on a niche market and either minimizing cost or differentiating goods. It's helpful if a firm has a small amount of resources. Then you have cost leadership, when a firm aims for the lowest cost of production whilst producing products that are given quality. This can be done through economies of scale, improving efficiency, and an advantage is that in a price war, the firm can remain profitable whilst lowering prices. Then you have differentiation, when a firm produces a product with unique attributes that competitors' products do not have. Now, obviously, an advantage is a firm could charge high prices as they may be the only ones selling it. However, there may be high cost of production and customers may not be willing to pay such high prices for the products. As I say, from here you kind of need to remember everything. I did say at the beginning this was going to be a very long video, and I'm trying to make it as short as I can by giving you the information you need and just getting to the point. Okay, so Porter's growth strategy matrix shows the best competitive growth strategy for a firm based on its competitive advantage and market scope. So a market scope is just whether it's a broad or narrow market, so mass or niche, and then competitive advantage, something a business is good at. So it helps a firm identify their focus and know what they're aiming to achieve. Therefore, the firm is more guided and less likely to fail. However, it oversimplifies market structure. It has a narrow focus on either cost leadership or differentiation, and doesn't take into account for businesses that achieve both. Some businesses successfully offer a range of those products and achieve it. Now, I have a image of where it is to the bottom left. So as you see on the bottom, you have competitive advantage, then you have the cost and differentiation section, and on your y-axis, or on the left, you have the scope, market scope. You have the niche market and the mass market. Sometimes it may be called broad and narrow. Broad is just like the mass market, and narrow is niche. Now, as you can see, for competitive advantage, cost leadership could be used in a mass market because there's a lot of competition, so you have the lowest price possible. Differentiation could also be used. In addition, you could also have a focus strategy with cost leadership, and it all depends really on what suits the business. So you have to talk about whatever case study they give. You have to use examples and try link it in to what strategy is best to actually be used. Apart from that, that's what you need to know for Porter's growth strategy. Now we're going to look at Kai's model, which is something you probably haven't heard of before, but it's quite simple. Of this whole video is probably the easiest part. Kai's model is a successful business strategy for a firm is one that's built on the distinctive capabilities. So a distinctive capability is just something a firm is good at, simple. And it's three types. You have architecture, so it describes the relationship between a firm and their main stakeholders. So just a relationship, that's what you need to know. A strong relationship, better at communicating marketing and product information to relevant people, which means more sales. Reputation, obviously how a business is perceived. A firm needs to keep customers satisfied by having good customer service and high quality products. And then you've got innovation. A firm that invests into research and development will bring new and innovative products, which means they have a USP and have a competitive advantage. From this slide, again, you need to know everything, know what the cost leadership is and like what it looks like, etc. And apart from that, let's move on to the last slide now. Lastly, we need to look at capabilities need to be sustainable and appropriate. Sustainable, once a firm has achieved one of Kai's distinctive capability, it needs to maintain it over time. So obviously people don't forget. And appropriable means one business should not be able to copy the distinctive capability of another. Basically that just means don't steal my idea in informal terms. New ideas can be protected through trademarks and patents, and slogans or logos can be protected through copyrights. And lastly, we're looking at Boston Matrix again. We looked at that one of the first few videos if I remember, so you can go check that out. So it's a product portfolio analysis that helps a firm assess where its individual products are in terms of growth and market share. An advantage of this, it helps a firm decide what product should be invested in more or less. So it can tell what product is declining or growing in sales. If it's maybe growing, maybe get some more investment in it. And if it's declining and just going to die out, just leave it and that's it, it's gone. However, there are some disadvantages. It only takes into account market share and growth as indicators of profitability. Other factors that are ignored play a role, such as quality of a product. Also, just because a product has a higher market share doesn't mean it's profitable. It may have high costs. Also, this is the same for market growth. A growth stage can be expensive. Therefore, the product that grows may not be profitable because it had higher costs growing it. Now that's the end of the video. Now I know I probably spoke very fast, but as I say, it's a lot of information and I don't want to waste your time. So I just give you the information you need. You can make your notes and that's it down easily. So you can just revise now by yourself. You don't have to keep on watching all these videos. All I ask for is to subscribe and like, as it does take time to actually make, and after I do this for me and my tutoring students. So thank you for watching. I hope you have a good time.